What's that sound?
What's that sound? What's that sound? It's the Mobcast.
Welcome back to the Mobcast here. We have a special episode here. We're live. We got a special episode. Call it bracketology, bracketeering, in honor of March Madness, which by the time you watch this may or may not still be going on. And
but it's April.
That's not. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up, Michael.
We each made a bracket, and the topics are wide and varied, as you'll come to see and listen to. And on the screen here, if you're watching us, we go through the bracket. And if you're just listening to us, that's great too. A lot of the names, places, things are very familiar. So if not, then get out from under your rock. And so we're just going to dive right in here. And I believe our first kind of host is going to be Matt. So Matt, if you're going to, get us going here on your bracket.
I can do that. All right. So my prompt was, who's the person who you would want to get shit-faced with or smoke a fat joint with?
The mob
either one, can be both.
I think you also need to state that these are all people that are currently deceased.
Oh, yes. So they had to be no longer with us. That was part of it. So I was asked about seating before we started recording, and so the thing I will say on that, so the way that I did seating is I made 3 columns. So column number 1 is how I would seed them. So I got my 8 names based on, I picked like a comedian and actor, which ended up both being Robin Williams. President, I picked musician, so that's Frank Sinatra. Sports player, Maradona. Entrepreneur, Steve Jobs. Wild card, I decided to go with 2, which was Steve Irwin and Jesus.
Steve Irwin is vastly underseated in this bracket.
Thank you.
That's all I'm going to say.
I would, yeah. So
Steve Irwin solos. Sorry,
everybody. Please continue.
Then, So and then author was Ernest Hemingway. So that's how I got the 8. And then to seed them, so I seeded them personally 1 through 8, and then I did like what I thought the 5 of us would seed them as, and then I thought like the greater like universe would like, a normal everyday person, how they would seed these 8.
Okay.
And then the person with the lowest number was 1, so that was Robin Williams. 2 was Jesus. Like who they would.
Hold on. I'm a little confused. I see no difference between 1 and 2. Yeah, it's fair.
Sure.
Is he just on there twice? For those not watching, number 1 is Robin Williams, number 2 is Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. So
yes,
yeah, that's valid. The
quick
checks out.
aside, I should have said this in the intro. So it's an 8-seeded bracket. So there are 8 characters, titles, 8 teams, as you wish. And so what we're going to do, they're seeded in a normal bracket, 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, so on and so forth. And we're going to go through each matchup, and we're going to debate, decide. And if we don't do that in under 2-ish minutes, then we'll go to a vote. And since there's 5 of us, that'll be clean and simple. So just wanted to add that in before we jumped in. But
good call.
Matt, please continue. If
Okay, yeah. So I'll just read out the seedings, then we can start.
Let's
so
do it.
Number 1's Robin Williams. Number 8 is Lyndon B. Johnson. He was a president, for those of you who are uneducated enough.
yes,
not
good
to know
backgrounds. Some good backgrounds are good.
that. Frank Sinatra. Maradona, Maradona was a soccer player for Argentina, FC Barcelona, and
Respect.
Napoli. Part of the reason that I also ranked these guys accordingly is because I wanted a really good first round matchup, and Steve Jobs versus Steve Irwin was that. So that's how part of the reason we got there. And then number 2 is Jesus Christ versus number 7, which is Ernest Hemingway. The biggest way that I seeded them too was just asking yourself like, what question or like topic would you want to talk with them about, stoned or drunk? So we'll start with the first matchup, which is Robin Williams versus Lyndon B. Johnson. I'm taking Robin Williams all the way. I think this is a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
I think Lyndon B. Johnson would be a good time, but I just don't really think there's any. It's a comedic genius. Seemed like a really nice guy, hysterical.
Was Lyndon B. Johnson before or after JFK?
Yeah.
Don't ask us that.
JFK was killed in
Stupid.
69 after the moon landing, or was that before the moon landing?
I think.
Even though we
the
didn't go
moon
on the
landing
moon, but
was in
course not.
69. I don't.
It doesn't
think he got
change.
to see
It doesn't
happen.
change my
no,
choice. I just
yeah, Michael,
didn't
I
know.
think you're right.
I didn't know where to place him in history.
I don't know either.
I have no arguments for Robin moving forward. I think he's hilarious, gone way too soon. Nothing against Lyndon, but yeah, I'm all for
Same
Robin.
thing.
Yeah.
Lyndon
Very
B.
funny.
Johnson seems pretty mid, so Robin all the way.
Yeah, I mean, Robin's very funny. He was fantastic roles in every movie and
Oh,
TV
yeah.
show that he acted in. I mean, it was incredible. So I think I'm pretty sure that's unanimous.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have Robin moving on to the next round. Okay.
All right, so Frank Sinatra versus Maradona.
Winner. Who the fuck is Maradona? No one knows who that is. Frank Sinatra is a
Damn.
genius. He also could drink any
Can't
of us
see it,
under
but
the
Jordan's
table.
holding up a Sinatra
Oh, I love
vinyl record.
Matt, I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, tell us. You picked him. What are your?
So, I mean, I would pick Maradona all the way. That's part of the reason he made the list. Like when I said I ranked them separately, Maradona was higher than Frank Sinatra. That's also part of the reason I picked Frank Sinatra as a musician, is because I knew that Michael and Jordan liked him so much. And generally, he's very well liked among our group. I like him as well. But if I had to pick a musician, it would have been different, like who I actually wanted to do this with. But I figured he would be better conversation topic. So I picked him, and this is why. I mean, I would pick Maradona. He seemed like a great time, super genuine guy. I mean, he had his substance abuse problems, but I heard that he was a pretty fun time before he got those in check a little bit. So yeah, I would pick Maradona.
So I would 100% go with Frank Sinatra. I think that there is. It just seems like it would be such an amazing experience to sit down and have a glass of whiskey and
Yeah,
a cigar
it would.
and a cigar with Frank Sinatra.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I mean, a great musician to put on here. If he could have done anyone else, I would have said Israel Kamakawioli.
I
That would have been a good one.
I second that. I would get
I mean,
hammered with
it's-
him. Yeah.
I would say smoking a joint with him.
He would drink all of the beer.
He would just cradle you. I mean, I think he would just cradle you and tell you that like everything's gonna be okay.
Things gonna be
And-
okay.
I mean,
Just sounds like
Yeah.
the best time.
That's
But
incredible.
Frank, though.
but yeah, Frank for sure.
I mean,
It wasn't called substance abuse back in his day. It was called You're a Man and That's Life. Great song by Frank Sinatra as well. That's Life.
Nice. That was
That's
good,
life.
Michael.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
well, as
Did
Frank
he
said,
die from. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was going to say, as Frank said, fly me to the moon. I'm going to fly Frank to the next
Nate
side of
took
the
the
bracket.
words out of my
Yeah.
mouth. I
And-
was about to start singing it.
Matt, I'm sorry. We have our first upset, baby.
Boys, that
That's not
was
an upset. Frank Sinatra was
Frank's
ranked
number
fourth.
4. Yeah, number 4.
Oh,
And I'm gonna go
you're
get some
right.
whiskey in honor of Frank.
I specifically, he specifically got ranked that high because I knew
that.
that he would probably move on.
I take that back. Yeah, so I think that's a great pick.
Yeah, it'd be a great time. There are no bad answers on my list.
My apologies. I went against that. You picked Maradona, and so the greater masses chose Frank. I think he is probably the more popular choice, though. So, Matt, who's next?
The next matchup we got is the most intriguing to me. So Steve Jobs versus Steve Irwin.
Rocky.
The Battle of the Steves.
Battle
Yeah.
of the Steves.
I
I mentioned it earlier. Steve
Yeah,
is
Matt.
vastly underseated here. I'm going to take Steve easy. So that's
Yeah,
just
Steve
me.
for sure.
Icon,
If I could-
great
Yep.
person, gone too soon.
I don't know if Nathan's doing this on purpose, but they're both Steve. So Steve Irwin.
I mean,
If I-
like, look.
If I could gather all manta rays in the world and murder them
It
all
was
in
a
the name of
stingray,
Steve
not a
Irwin,
manta ray.
whatever they are, the thing with the pokey tail,
Yes.
and murder all of them in the name of Steve Irwin.
No, man, that's not.
I would murder
that's
half
not
of
what
them in the name
he
of
would
Thanos.
have wanted. He probably forgave that stingray up in heaven because I hope someone killed the shit out of it until it was dead. But he would have been
Yeah,
like, crikey.
I actually teared up when I heard that Steve Irwin had passed away.
I got the news on Instagram.
Yeah, it struck a chord with me. He was definitely a big influence throughout my childhood. So, yeah, Steve Irwin all the way. Steve Jobs. I mean, it would be a cool conversation to have. But Steve Irwin just has such a crazy outlook. I think he had such a crazy outlook on life, and sharing a beer with Steve Irwin after wrestling some gators just sounds fantastic.
But you know he smoked weed too.
Oh, probably. Well, is
Save the planet.
it legal in Australia? I don't know.
Crikey.
I think they call it Vegemite
It's-
down there.
Yeah, dude, they fucking pop edibles for breakfast.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's
All
like
right.
it's a penal colony, dude.
What did you call them?
It used to be
Penal
a.
That's where they
That's
took
where the
all the
British
people who
took the
went to
prisoners.
jail. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
So
how
it's all everybody. You have like a 99% chance of being related to somebody who is a felon, basically.
get out.
Yeah.
Okay.
They also got into a war with emus.
Pretty cool.
So-
I did know that. I did know that. They
And
declared war on
lost.
the emu.
Who is here for Steve Jobs?
No one.
That's a
Oh,
no
I'm
for me,
going
boss.
Irwin.
We
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Clean
That's
sweep.
an upset.
Clean sweep for Steve Irwin, my dude.
And so,
Okay.
like, for when I was making the seating too, like he was higher in our group, and then I think that he actually tied with Maradona.
I love that.
What, did you already go through like a simulated thing?
No, like when I had added all the numbers up, and then I did like a golf score. So I think that they had like the same number.
Got it.
All right, Jesus Christ versus Ernest Hemingway.
You're going to hell if you vote one way or the other.
I gotta go. So like personally, again, Hemingway was higher for me than 7. But I gotta go with Jesus just because I gotta be like, what the fuck happened from the fucking? Just take me through start of Last Supper to like a week later. Like I just gotta know what the fuck went on. I just, and I feel like if you got him a little stoned and a little, drunk, you'd be like, hey man, listen, did you really, what happened there? What happened? And he'd be like, you know what? Let me tell you.
I mean, there is
A lot of big
there is
questions.
the burning bush in the Bible. So yeah, I don't know who wrote that book, but
I don't think he was there for that.
I mean, yeah, but it was around, man, and he was born into that. So
A lot
And
of big
also,
questions to ask him.
he
First
can turn
question I'm
water
asking
into
him is-
wine.
How much of the what
That
parts
was
of the
my thing.
Bible are we going with here? Like times have changed. Some of the stuff in the Bible, is it written by God? Was it written by humans? What are we going with here? A lot of people are confused.
So
I gotta say though,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nathan.
no.
Continue.
I was just gonna put my piece in and say the first question I'd ask Ernest is, "Who are you?" No disrespect.
Only one of the greatest authors of all time.
I knew his name. I couldn't tell you his work.
My apologies. I don't know any of his work.
For whom the bell tolls, Old Man in the Sea. He was a man's
Speaking
man.
nothing to me.
But you've never
These
read
book names
Ernest?
sound riveting.
I've been to his apartment in Cuba.
Are you serious?
Michael,
You've never
I've
read
never
Ernest
been to
Hemingway?
Matt, maybe
I think
when
I
I was in
definitely
grade
have,
school.
but-
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, they
What is
don't.
another
They don't
book?
teach Ernest
Okay.
Hemingway in grade school.
Anyway, Thomas Rhett has a song named "Beer with Jesus," and he talks about just imagine the conversations, the questions you could ask. That's an easy one. I got Jesus.
Yeah, I think.
Clean sweep for
We can get it to
JC.
a clean vote.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean the turning water to wine. It's unlimited drinks with Jesus as well, so you got to keep that in mind.
Jesus running up that tab. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Jesus moves on.
Put
This
it on
next-
Christ.
This next round is going to be tough.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, these are already some good
All
ones.
right.
The final four
Robin
here.
Williams versus Frank Sinatra. Again, this is easy for me. There's a reason Robin Williams is ranked number 1.
That's fair.
I'm Robin Williams. That's my vote.
I'm about to ask you.
I don't know, man.
I really can't decide between these two.
That's hard.
This is tough. This
one is tough.
I kind of did like in my head. I looked through the brackets, and this was the matchup I saw, and I was like, I had to think about it.
I talked about it with the buddy earlier, and Frank won this battle. But now that I'm starting to think about it, it's like every once in a while I'll find a random movie I didn't know Robin Williams was in, and I'll still love it no matter what it is.
I really hope. Okay. My vote, I'm going to say Robin, because I think he would just be absolutely hilarious, and that would be a great time. So I'm going to... I hope we're a little split here. I'm going to go Robin for me.
Yeah, this is tough because, I mean, I feel like having a conversation with Robin Williams would be very entertaining. And obviously, like, you'd be having a great time. But Frank Sinatra, too, like, guys could just be singing his classics together.
Oh, that's a great point too.
It's tough. I feel
You're instantly a man's man forever once you have dinner with Frank Sinatra. Or smoke a drink with him, you know what I'm saying?
That is true.
Someone calls you a pussy, you pull up that picture with him and you, and you're like, you sure?
Yeah, you know what, Jordan? You sold me. I'm going to go Frank.
All right, so we got 2 and 2, and Michael, this comes down to you.
Wow.
Shit.
Man.
Oh,
Look,
shit.
man.
It didn't come down to Michael. We all know how Michael's gonna go.
Look, man.
He said he wasn't sure.
Look, there's
Wasn't
a case.
sure.
Like, Robin Williams defined parts of my childhood, but Frank Sinatra defined more of my life now and previous when I was a young adult. You know, man, I think back to our times watching Disney movies like Aladdin, and Robin's in there, and that's great. But then I think back to poker nights, and at the end of the night, when we're screaming at each other and throwing poker chips, who was playing in the background? None other than Frank Sinatra. So,
That's a great point.
you know, it's really tough, but I may be a little biased. I gotta go with Frank. I'm sorry. It's just it is what it is.
That is a
Huge upset.
massive upset here in the brackets.
Is much.
Madness. Brackets are busted. I don't believe it.
We just ruined
That's
a
a
lot
tough
of people's
one, though.
betting.
That is a tough
Take
one.
us to the next matchup here.
Oof.
I don't want to do this one.
Steve
This is a
Irwin
tough one,
versus
too.
I don't want to do
Jesus
this one.
I'm not even thinking religion here. I'm thinking like the conversations on both sides.
I'm going with Steve.
Brad hit on it earlier. Like, I remember so many, like, I don't remember which day. I'm just going to guess it's a Sunday that his show would come on and I'd watch it with my dad and my pseudo sister at the time. And it's just like one of the best memories I had with my father because he would always talk to me about it and tell me like the latest news of just animals, not even just Steve, but and like evolved me getting into nature more and learning about like not paleontology, sorry, but like studying the ocean and different animals. I used to love them, so I'm going Steve.
Did you guys ever see the Crocodile Hunter movie?
Hell yeah.
And then
I
I
have
think
that on
I think it
DVD.
was the credits. Yeah, was the Elton John song. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I don't know. That's just ingrained into my childhood there. But I think
All right, Brad,
Um,
first vote.
I think I gotta go with Jesus. I'm afraid of getting struck down.
You can still love him.
Oh, I love Jesus. I
It's not
love
gonna
Steve
take
Irwin.
offense.
That's the only thing I'm banking off of right now. Picking Steve.
gotta
Is
go with
still love
Jesus, man.
Okay.
So final vote, Brad. You're picking Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
All right, Jordan.
1-1.
Who picked? Matt, you picked Steve, correct?
Yeah.
All right, 1-1. Jordan.
I picked Steve.
2-1, Steve.
I'm not gonna smoke or drink with
No,
Jesus.
it's okay. It's okay. I get it. I understand.
That's fine.
I just think unlimited drinks with Jesus. I think it's...
I'll see him in the afterlife.
Michael.
I mean, okay, real quick here. Like, Steve Irwin is basically the god of all animals, but Jesus is like the god of everything.
God of all.
And also, like, I would love to hang out with Steve and just like talk, drink a beer, go fight a camel or something. I don't know. But like, Jesus is going to be able to, you're going to get him drunk enough to the point where you're like, bro, like, what's it all about, man? Like, you get the secrets of the freaking universe. because he had
A great
one too
argument.
many. You know what I mean? Like,
But
And
what
I'm
about if you
Catholic.
what about if you know the point of life, secrets of the universe, and then at that point your life is like pointless. You don't want to live anymore because there's no like mystery.
Michael, who's your pick?
it's
Damn.
it's Lent. I gotta go with Jesus.
It's Lent.
That's funny.
Nathan, break it up. Let's
2
go.
and 2. Okay, all due respect, I honestly, when I went through this before, I thought Steve would go all the way to the finals. But now that I'm thinking about it,
You also don't want to go to hell.
no, I thought again, like, really, honestly, you could probably ask Jesus if you could talk to Steve, maybe. You know, if you really want.
Someone has to bring Steve down so you can just get that quick conversation there.
That's a good way to look at it.
It goes both ways.
I just go back. You could have a heck of a time and learn, not even learn a lot, but just hear a lot from Jesus. So he's got my pick here in a close 3-2 final
All
split.
right.
So the favorite here
Good stuff.
is moving on.
Jesus.
Wow, two
Christ.
2 to 4 seed.
My bracket
That's
earlier had
interesting.
Steve going all the way, but I know which bandwagon I'm jumping on now.
Okay, Matt. Let's hear the final matchup in the finals.
This is like not even remotely a matchup that I thought was gonna happen.
Tell our
This
listeners
is
out there.
amazing. This is already taking such a turn. Oh man. Fucking A. Does somebody else go first? I don't even
All right.
fucking know.
I got a point to
This
make.
is my own
Okay.
goddamn bracket.
Jesus Christ is like, he's the light, man. He's in your heart, whatever.
Frank's probably the opposite.
Frank Sinatra's, he's like his opposite, bro. He was with Marilyn Monroe. He's probably cheating on that. He drank a lot, which is a sin, I guess.
You committed just
So,
whatever
like-
sin you could, I
So
guess.
you're saying we're choosing between
Pretty
heaven
much.
and hell right now?
That's what I'm saying, man. This is
Damn.
how it's meant to be. The dark versus the light. I don't know which side to choose. This got deep as shit, and maybe that's divine intervention.
Well, going off that, Michael, thank you for that beautiful picture. I'm going to go with Jesus because I dumped Frank last round, so I don't want to disrespect him or Jesus here. So my pick's Jesus.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get out of the way. Jesus all the way now. Take him to the champs.
It's 2-0.
I'll listen to Frank in the background while I'm talking to Jesus.
There you
Fair.
go. It's a good compromise.
Jesus Christ. My dude.
3-zip. That's a win,
3-zip.
but what are the other votes? Matt? Your bracket. Who you picking?
I feel like I'm gonna go with Frank.
I knew
Wow,
it.
Okay.
wow.
He still loses, but
Matt, I
But
don't
it
wanna
wasn't a
leave
clean
you-
sweep.
I don't want to leave you in the dark, but I think it has to be Jesus, man, because like he'll forgive Frank's sins, but then you're a sinner if you're with him. In
And the
best-
questions are just so much deeper too with
Yeah.
Jesus.
so Jesus is the winner,
Jesus
4-1 in a
Christ,
series of 5, best of 5 series. Jesus wins 4 of them.
I'm proud of us, guys. We're wow.
won.
So according to
He
this
could beat
bracket,
Jesus once.
by the mob, as Matt put together for us, the person we'd most likely want to drink or smoke with, share a joint with, whatever, is Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior.
Good bracket, Matt. Good bracket.
That's good.
Amen.
That's a
Amen.
good start.
Amen.
That was a great start. Big fan. Big fan.
Yeah.
Now,
Great bracket.
this next one,
Oh.
it's going to take us down even more questionable paths. No Jesus. Well, Michael, take
no.
it away.
All right. So this one's called "Who Rules the World: The Ultimate Showdown." Super Slam. And then there's a bunch of trap air horns going off in the background. So I try to just think of like, you know, the world's a crazy place. Things are going on. Things aren't making sense. We're asking the right questions, and those questions are going unanswered. So I'm like, you know, who really controls the world? Who's running this shit? So I came up with the 8 most
Lizard
likely
people!
candidates. Exactly. So I'll just start it off right here. We got first seed, the Illuminati, it's a classic, versus the 8th, which is the Drippy Pope. The Japanese gave him like an anime style shaw thing
Camino.
to wear, and he was wearing it.
Is he the
So-
current pope?
He is the current Pope.
Okay.
He's drippy. He's got the power of God and anime on
Our
his
last
side.
pope wasn't as
There it
drippy.
is.
You're right. Within the next matchups, I guess I'm not a sports ball guy, so I'm just going to go down the line here. We got 4
That's
and 5. 4 being the most interesting man in the world, and 5 being the most talented man in the world, who is Johnny Sins. He's a doctor, lawyer, astronaut, army man, teacher. He is quite
Plumber.
high power.
If you don't know who he is, just
Plumber.
search him up on
Google it
Yeah, give
on
him
your
a look.
parents' computer. Don't ask permission. It's fine.
If you're over the age of 18, you're fine.
Yeah. The next one's the 3 seed, Shaggy from Scooby Doo at max power, and number 6, Western religion's version of Jesus. So this is the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, the Earth is 6,000 years old Jesus, not the last one. The true, not the true
wielding.
Jesus.
Oh, like
Exactly.
nerfed Jesus.
Like he killed the dinosaurs, Jesus, and that's a fact. And then
Jesus is gonna go 2-0.
So then the final 2 are Lizard People or Mark Zuckerberg and
I didn't
Ye.
even realize that was a fucking picture.
So we got Lizard People led by Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook or Meta or whatever you want to call
Yes,
it versus
dude.
the lone wolf
Yes.
Kanye West, or formerly known as Kanye West, now known as Ye. So
Who is
Yeah.
so horrendously ranked.
Hey, he recently just said that he made some statements on Alex Jones' InfoWars recently that were quite controversial, and he recently watched a 21 Jump Street, and Jonah Hill is Jewish, and he publicly took back a lot of the things he said, anti-Semitic things that he said during InfoWars. So
You can't.
that's
take
yay.
that back.
I know. I'm obviously not, but that's just what's in the news.
Not when you're in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Kanye's
but anyway,
horrendous background and beliefs aside, Michael, quick question
Yes.
before you get us started on 1 verse 8. So,
Okay.
in your opinion, so I'm trying to get this in your ideal, is this like most powerful, or like who we think could rule the world the best?
like,
Or
as
is there
in,
something
like,
else?
Like,
No, it's
look,
who's
man,
running, right?
who's running it right now? Like, you know what I
Oh,
mean? It's like,
okay.
Who's
Gotcha.
behind the curtains?
Who's behind
who
the
is
curtains?
pulling the
Okay.
strings, stuff like that.
All right,
So,
get us started.
all
Let's
right,
ride.
first one, number 1 seed Illuminati, number 8 seed the Drippy Pope. I'm sorry, Father, but you know he's an old man, and he only has the power of the Vatican behind him, which is a good point because
Which
he
is
controls the
large.
Vatican. It's basically like the Italian Illuminati, and I think that they might have like evidence of aliens and giant spiders and crazy stuff. So, what do you guys
Demons.
think? Definitely,
I
they
think-
have demons.
I think Drippy Pope has too much on his plate dealing with priests and little boys to run the entire world. So I'm going Illuminati.
I think.
point.
I think though the Pope is drippy, I think the Illuminati has their hands in a lot of different areas. I think they're just a lot more all-encompassing as to where the drippy Pope is really only the head of the Catholic Church and Italy. So I'd go with
Yeah,
the
I-
Illuminati.
All right,
I gotta go
all right.
Illuminati too. I think that's
Um,
pretty straightforward.
I'll make this quick 5-0 sweep, but I'm going to go Illuminati because I think their numbers are unknown, and also I'm not Catholic. So, sorry, Mr. Pope, but you
Hey, drippy
are
Pope.
Uh-oh.
Drippy Pope. My apologies.
The Vatican is on our coattails now. They're recording this, but so
Every
is the
single
Illuminati,
group
so
in
it's
this
fine.
bracket is
Is
now
watching us.
monitoring this, which
You
might
know,
get our views
obviously,
up.
this is a big joke, but if I'm right about one of these, that's going to be really awkward when I'm in like
Yeah.
the re-education center. But it's fine. Number
Take us to the next one.
4th seed is the most interesting man in the world. He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, he prefers Dos Equis. And Johnny Sins. I mean, man, speaking of a guy putting some things in a lot of things, he's out there. He's around, you know.
He
So
controls one part of society, that's for sure.
He's got that unlocked.
I have to
He's
say,
Kingpin in that.
he's
that
a
world.
beautiful human. He's a
he's
beautiful
bald?
human.
Yeah, that's
And he sports a beard most of the time. And for that reason, he's got my vote.
Okay,
All right.
1-0 for Johnny.
Okay.
Respect the hustle, Johnny Sins.
2. We got 2.
Okay.
Michael, what do you got? Who do you got in your bracket? Your seeds.
I mean, look, man, I really enjoy the most interesting man's class. I'm pretty sure the last time we saw him, he was getting on a rocket with a 9-iron going to the moon. I mean, if he's up there right now, he's probably controlling shit well beyond what we think of. So I gotta respect that Johnny's an astronaut too, but I think the most interesting man, like, he's not exploring, bro. He's like living up there. So that's my vote.
He's an
We
alcoholic.
got 2-1.
Definitely.
Bradley.
I think, most interesting man in the world. Obviously, he's the most interesting, but I'm not quite sure on how much power that gives him. Johnny,
Suave is power.
I would say Johnny just for the sole fact of pitting him against the Illuminati next round.
So with that
Johnny
vote,
does have a good following.
Yeah.
with that vote,
funny.
Brad sends Johnny to the next round. I will say I was also going to vote Johnny for the simple fact I think the most interesting man in the world is just a front man. He's like that dude in Iron Man 3 he's a figurehead, right? So
Yeah.
Oh, the Mandarin.
Oh, that's a good
yes,
point.
the Mandarin. So I think he's just maybe the Illuminati's controlling him. I don't know.
Fair.
So
see.
Michael.
All right,
move
this
us
one's going to
forward.
be tough. I think number 3 seed is Shaggy at max power, and number 6 is the Western religions Yee NASCAR and Bud Light Jesus. Man, this one's close. I mean, Shaggy has like raw power. That's a fact. We've seen it in all the different movies. He's a shapeshifter. He can shift his shapes. I don't know. Like, can Jesus?
He solos Goku too. So that's
He
Yeah,
does.
and that's at, like,
We've seen the video.
1% of his power too.
very, very minimal. I'm picking
Like,
Shaggy.
Jesus-
I'm just putting it out there. I don't think this is the real Jesus. So that's my vote.
Right. I mean, Jesus, he might have dominion over Earth, but I feel like Shaggy, he's on the level of like at least a Greek god or more. Or maybe he is like outside of all that. So I think
Yeah.
Shaggy's the right answer.
All right, we
My
got
argument for this one is I would have taken Shaggy at 4% power for the win on this. I think I could prove that isn't the real Jesus, because if the real Jesus was running the world, I think the world would look very different than it is. So I think that might be a false Jesus.
I like that point. It's a good one.
Shaggy max power.
Yeah, Shaggy
just
max power.
Clean sweep.
Too much. All
Clean
right,
sweep
that's
for
fair.
sorry Western
I think-
Jesus.
I think when we get into the final four and the semis, I think it's going to get harder. But for
Your
now,
guns were
I think-
not enough.
Exactly.
I have an argument
Take
for next
this
round.
forward.
All right. Well, let's hear. We got number 2 seed Lizard People, and then the number 7 seed being Yay.
I'm picking
man,
Lizard
I mean,
people.
Yeah, I mean,
because there's a
it's
lot of
more
them.
likely they're running the show than Kanye West.
But bro,
But I
Kanye,
still hold the fact that Kanye West shouldn't be the goddamn 7 seed. There's a much higher chance that he'd be running the fucking world than Johnny
Hollywood.
Sins, the most interesting
Hollywood is-
man alive.
No.
I would argue
No,
this fake Jesus. So he's got to be at least at number 4.
All right. I think this is kind of tough because I think Ye actually falls into at least 2 of these categories that are already on this bracket.
That's a fair point too.
One being lizard people, who it goes directly against. He very well could be a lizard person. And the lizard people kind of go into the Illuminati as well. I mean, like, those 3 there,
It all
those all
connects.
kind of get coupled together. It all connects. It's all the same.
Brad, where is your tinfoil hat?
It's always on.
So do we have 1 vote
Lizard
for Yay,
people.
1 vote for Lizard, 2 vote for Lizard people? So 2-1.
Yes. Yeah.
Michael and Jordan. Who you pick?
Jordan, you said you had an argument for.
Oh, sorry,
one or
no.
the other.
That argument is for a possible
Next round, I think.
matchup coming
Oh,
up
I
in 2 rounds.
understand.
2 rounds.
What's-
Who voted for
what's your pick?
Kanye?
You.
I thought you did.
Oh,
Matt.
no. I voted
Oh,
for the
okay.
lizard people.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was
So-
making the argument that Kanye should be ranked number 4.
No, my thing is just lizard people. I mean, Kanye could be a lizard person. He could be in the Illuminati.
Indeed.
Regardless, he's one person versus those two groups. So
I'm scared of lizard people, and I feel like either Kanye's part of them, like Brad said, or going against them lately. Maybe he's like a splinter group who's trying to get away. So I'm going lizard people. Facebook.
See, man, I was going more for the
Meta.
upset. I'm not. I was gonna say yay, but I think Yeezys give you superpowers. But
Well,
the
he lost.
people have spoken. He did
See,
lose.
even you don't think this is the right seating. You picked a seven
Bro,
upset.
maybe I'm running the world. Maybe I'm running the world.
That's
Everybody likes an underdog story in sports ball.
Kanye
That's what I was
lost.
trying to achieve.
Kanye lost just
Oh
like he
my
lost
God.
all of his endorsements. So if we go on,
unbelievable.
so that's a 4-1 win
Adidas.
for the
For
Lizard.
everybody at
brought
home,
back.
this is Michael's understanding of most sports. So this is
He
pretty on
defined a
par.
generation of music. You
That
guys
doesn't mean he
don't
rules the
understand.
world.
all right,
Next
moving
round.
on.
Rules my heart. All right,
That
so
was
we
that
got
was
gotta keep-
fucking
we gotta keep it moving.
fantastic.
in the final four, the Illuminati versus Johnny Sins. Discuss.
Illuminati.
I'm going
Yeah.
Illuminati.
I think they might fear his power, but I think Illuminati's got him.
Johnson's is
that's
very
fair.
talented, but
Johnny's a one-man
fair.
show, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's quite the show, but he's a one-man show.
he can't do it all at the same time. He can do it all, just not at the same time.
Exactly.
I have an argument for
He
this
does
next
do it
round.
all.
I think that's a clean
Alright.
sweep for the
Clean
Illuminati.
sweep for the Illuminati.
Not very
So
close on
now
that one. Down.
No.
we gotta let's see what happens between Shaggy at max power. Let me reiterate: max power and lizard people.
Here's my argument. Shaggy cannot win this round.
Why?
Really?
Yeah.
And here's why. He has left us. He may have ruled us at one point, but he has left us. Because of the new Velma show.
Yeah, that's actually
Oh,
fair. Yeah.
Shoot.
He would never let that happen.
You're right.
The new
You're
Velma
right.
show.
It's really bad.
It's really, really bad. I think it has the lowest rating on not Rotten Tomatoes, but IMDb out of
I
like
haven't
any
watched
show
it, but
ever.
I have not
like
seen
in
one
history.
person say anything good about it.
What is it on? Peacock?
It's on
I
HBO.
don't even know. Yes.
Who's
Someone
Velma?
said it was like that Mindy, what's her
Mindy
face?
from The Office.
Oh, she made
Is
it?
it,
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
animated?
she's like the wrote it, directed it. Yeah.
Oh, no.
And the people said that it
Not
was just
Mindy.
like purely a self-insert, like she just wanted to be Velma, so then she just
Yeah.
like made Velma look like her and talk like her, and it's like
I think the idea of an adult-themed Scooby-Doo is awesome,
Oh, it's a great idea.
but I think
well,
they
the execution was horrible.
think they fumbled it.
I don't even think Scooby-Doo's in the show.
No, he's not.
well, then that's not Scooby-Doo, and I don't care if it's called
Well, it's
Velma.
not. It's not called Scooby-Doo, but-
Shaggy's in it.
It's called Velma.
And Shaggy
Everybody
would never
is
let that
there.
happen.
Everybody is there for the talking dog. Change my mind. So
It's not wrong. Okay, so back to this. Let's get this to a vote.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna pick Shaggy. I think he's just too powerful at this moment.
But it's who rules the world. It's not who's more powerful.
That is the
This is
that's
true.
That's what I was
This
thinking.
is true.
I feel like though. I mean,
Okay, you
like
swayed me. I'll say the lizard people because of the leader, Mark. He is a multi-billionaire conglomerate person, lizard person. So yeah, I'll go lizard people. I think that's
Yeah,
true.
I'm going.
Is that
I'm
everybody?
right there with
Lizard.
you. Yeah, I
Lizard.
think that makes sense.
I think
Lizard
Shaggy
people
has this shit on
control.
autopilot. He's using 0.5% of his power to rule the world, but I'll concede to lizard people.
I think it's 3-1. If Michael
He wins
voted for
10 out of
that.
10 in fighting, for sure.
Oh, for
A
sure.
1000%.
There's no
That's
That's
question.
fair.
He has
I just
what
don't think
was-
he's in
That's
control
fair.
right now.
I think he's more brute force, whereas lizard people are definitely more nuanced, or else we would see them, or at least signs. So, in
Yeah,
that
Jordan,
regard,
that
I
was
think
that was a great
yeah.
point. It's more like ruling rather than a fight.
So this is interesting because the final
Here's the
matchup
final.
is the Illuminati versus the lizard people, which could go hand in hand. I think they may be two distinct groups. I think the Illuminati are
I
just a
think they
bunch
are
of
two
guys in
distinct
hats.
groups.
Like they're just a bunch of old guys in hats that just like control central finance. And then
Michael.
the lizard people, yeah.
No, please continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're good. But the lizard people, they're out here. They're trying to build the metaverse, man. What are lizards like? Warm climate. What's happening right now? The climate's getting warmer, man. This can't be a mistake.
They're
So
pissed off
I
at
think-
dinosaurs.
I think the
I did not think
Illuminati.
of global warming.
I think the Illuminati is a bit passé. That was like our grandfather's generation. I think that they've fallen out of power, and I think the come up for the next 100 years is going to be the lizard people.
I agree.
That's what I think.
So the Illuminati is in retirement, and the lizard people are affecting global change.
I mean, bro, George Soros is like 92, and he's definitely in the Illuminati. So
The
we got,
Illuminati definitely think they're still running the world, but
So we got
not.
two
It's the lizard
votes.
people.
those damn boomers.
2 votes for lizard people. Matt and Michael.
I think, yeah, it's lizard
Okay.
people.
Michael swayed me. I'm going lizard.
Okay.
Wow. All right.
Brad, what are your thoughts? Despite lizard people winning outright, I'm curious.
See, it is tough just because I feel like they do work hand in hand. I feel like they are two different groups, but I think they work together. And actually, looking at this bracket, I'm honestly kind of surprised that the Church of Scientology was not also on here as well.
That's part of the lizard people.
David Miscavige is a false prophet, and he only got probably like, I don't know, at this point, 1,000 people kind of listening to him. I'd hope. If you're in Scientology and you're listening to this, leave. It's just my
But two of those
thoughts and my
people
opinions.
listening are Tom Cruise and John Travolta. So
Well,
those count for more than just one.
So, Brad, was that a clean
Correct.
vote for you for the lizard people as well?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm just going to bandwagon here. Michael, great bracket because you pretty
very
much
good.
got 1 and 2. So you predicted and seeded very well. So hats off to you.
We tried.
In the victory of who rules the world as of now are the lizard people and Mark.
all right.
So,
And actually, it's been both 2 seeds that have won so far.
oh, has it really?
Oh,
It sure
Yeah.
has.
all right.
Lucky
Yeah.
number 2.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Lucky
All right,
number 2.
well,
Okay. So as we go
let's see
from
what's
a
next.
little less dankness, I'm a big gamer. I somehow still wanted to get video games put into this podcast. So I did the greatest Call of Duty Zombies map of all time.
These are some tough matchups.
And so there's actually like 14, 15 maps. So I already had to cut this down to 8, which is really tough. And I'll just go through the matchups. Number 1 seeded, I have Doris, which is originally from World at War. It was the first map to include teleporting inside of it. And that goes up against number 8, Call of the Dead. That's with George A. Romero, if that rings any bells. Just George run around the map. So 4 and 5 seed, we have Kino. That's the classic in the theater. Theater of the Dead. That comes out with Black Ops 1. And we also have 5. That's when JFK, Richard Nixon, Castro, and I think the Secretary of State, they're your characters. That one's a blast. 3 and
That's a tough
6,
matchup.
I had Ascension, which I love this one. It's on a Russian space site, I think, and it's just a lot of fun because they brought monkeys involved and some new perks. So I really enjoy that one. And then 6 is the classic, the OG, Nocturne Toten, the very first Zombies map back at World at War. A timeless classic, but it just doesn't have, all the fancy nuances, perks, and whatnot from the future maps. And then finally, 2 and 7 seed, I have Green Run, or Transit is the mode when it's the bus in Black Ops 2. Just a heck of a blast. I remember having so much fun on
Solid
that
speeding
map.
for that one.
The bus station, you go station to station. It's just a lot of fun. And then that goes up against 7, which is Moon. It's in the name, but it's you use
Floating zombies.
you use gravity, floating zombies. You fight. There's an astronaut that wants to eat you. And so yeah, this was a tough bracket to make, but I hope everyone. I think all of us here. I chose this because I think Call of Duty Zombies was one of my favorite things growing up. I would play it all the time. Black Ops 1 through Black Ops 2, pretty much. So I hope you all, if you don't know what they are, just let me know. But we can dive right in to the first matchup. And that is
Let's do it.
Doris versus Call of the Dead. What are your thoughts?
I don't really remember Call of the Dead, but I do remember Doris, and I remember liking it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's
Yeah.
my vote.
Same.
I think so. Call of the Dead. I mean, it's just such a nostalgia thing because I remember, like, I think it was as soon as that DLC came out, buying that and playing that all day, which is like the nostalgia there is huge. But Darius is like that classic, like that was like the final DLC of World at War, and that was a fantastic map. I would probably go with Darius.
Awesome. Matt,
Yeah,
are you on
I have
board?
to go with Therese as well. Yeah.
Cool. And I'm right there with you. I love Call of the Dead because George just walks around with a fucking spotlight and just wants to whack you. Tough.
That one was scary.
That was a tough.
That one
map.
was actually scary.
It was hard.
Yeah.
So they move on in the next round. This next matchup,
This is hard.
I really hated to pit these
hard.
two against one another.
Yeah, this is tough.
It's Kino der Toten and 5, both classic new maps that came out with Black Ops. So what are you guys' thoughts? This is
If you asked me to play Zombies right now, the map I am going to pick is Kino der Toten. I can't even say it. It sounds like kindergarten, but it's not. I played that probably the most out of all these with my buddy
so
Kyler
good.
all the time. It's my favorite map, even though I do love 5 too. But I'm
Yeah.
still going Kinder Toten. How do you say it?
all right.
I got to go with 5.
Oh, I love it.
Sorry.
That's
I also
Speech,
I appreciate the fact that 5 is 5.
the speech, the beginning of 5, when the zombies are
really
coming in, and then it has
it has a great intro. I love that intro so much.
It's just like the memes that come out of that intro as well. Like it is just through time.
they're barging their way in. It's Nixon.
Nixon.
Acts like an idiot.
Just because, and then Kennedy's out there, Fidel's chiefing on a fat Cohiba cigar. It's just vibes, man. And also, like, to call back to the last bracket, it looks like they were probably all in the Illuminati if they're in the same room. So, yeah, man. If anyone's going to take out those zombies, it's them, and that's why 5 is the right answer.
I had another point for Kinder Toten too that I forgot. The Easter egg on that map. When you set it off and it plays like the hard metal rock anthem.
115.
They both do that. They both
do that? Okay, then never mind. Not a
Both
point. I didn't know.
maps
I
have
didn't
a
know about
different
that.
song. Yeah.
And actually, I think 5's is.
5's is just
Damn.
as good.
It was actually a good song. Yeah, it's a good song.
115 is a banger. It's
Yeah.
gets you so everyone dies, and you're just blasting away.
Yeah. Nathan.
So no, I'll say Matt and Jordan both 1 and 1. Brad, Michael, you said 5, didn't you?
I did say 5.
Okay, so that's 2-1, 5. Brad, what do you got?
I am actually so. I think I'll take this more so to which map did I play better on? Like, was it
That's
easier
fair. Yeah.
to play? I always found that Kino was much easier to play. A lot easier to run circles and just get to the high rounds. I'm right there with you on the Easter eggs, but then also just the nostalgia. Like that was, they're both nostalgia's there for
tough.
Yes,
both
they
of them.
are.
But
Don't
tough
dolphin
matchup.
dive down the
It's-
stairs though.
yeah, like Kino's easier to get farther, and I was literally playing it earlier today. So I'm gonna go with Kino.
So that is 2 and 2, and of course it comes down to me. Thank you guys. So
It's
like
tough.
Brad, I also did some research earlier today. I played Kino, played some solo, got to round about 27, and then I just had to call it because rounds take so long at that point.
Sick flex.
I was minor flex. I had the upgraded ray gun, then I had the Zeus cannon. I was rolling.
Hell yeah.
JFK's speech in the beginning of 5, I can't recite it, but he goes, "We try to be greater men," and then you just go.
Yeah.
This is really
It's
tough,
just-
guys. I shouldn't have done
It
this
is tough.
matchup.
Yeah, I mean, 4 and 5. Those are you
Those are the
pit
hard
them
ones.
about as close as you could.
I know.
They're in the hunt.
I'm going to go 5 I love because it's a lot scarier, I think. But I'm actually going to pick Kino because when I think of like what Jordan said, I think was like, what I want to play some zombies. Let's play Kino. And to a point where Brad said, I think one of those is also like the highest level I've gotten to. So this was a tight one, but let's have Kino move on.
And there's definitely no wrong answer here.
No, I love
both
5.
of those are great. Yeah.
It was tough.
That was a tough one. So if we move on to the next one, 3 and 6, which is Ascension versus the OG Nocturne Toten.
I just got to jump in real quick. I'm sorry.
Go dive.
Knock deer on Toten. I'm not a Germanic language guy. Anyway,
It's not even undead. You can say that.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. That was my first experience. I'm not really a gamer, but that was my first experience with like a modern video game playing zombies, man. With some friends from home back in like 9th grade, you know. And it was just, it starts off and there's like 3 zombies and you have a pistol, and then it's like you try to buy the gun off the wall, and then you spend all your money, and then you miss a bunch of times, and then you die, and then they have to get you back up, right? This is the map where I came back home at like very late hours and Nathan is still up, and we just hop on and make it to round like the 40 or 37 or something crazy.
No, it wasn't that. Not on that map. We've done this a couple times. Kino, we've gotten high. This one, we probably got to like 20s, because this one's hard to get high.
That's still good.
Ascension?
That's still good for me.
No, Nocturne Toten.
Okay.
Because this one, you're so tight, and I think before you're not playing with perks, so it's even harder.
You're essentially laying down in that back corner.
Yes. Yes,
The game must know that I'm terrible
Yeah.
because I like genuinely always get the ray gun on this level. Just first time out of the mystery box.
You always kill yourself shooting.
I do. So I'm still going with it, but
I love it. All right.
That's my piece.
I remember being scared of that room. Like the OG, I remember being scared of it. So I'm
it's
with
a scary
Michael.
map. I remember.
Yeah.
They just come out in the open field.
It is cool, and obviously like the original, so it has that. But Ascension is my top zombies map of all time. I love Ascension.
The great one.
Especially from like a playable level. I mean, I've easily gotten my highest game on Ascension before.
It's one of the bigger maps.
Yeah, it's a huge map. There's plenty of places to run. You never really feel like you're gonna get like cornered, unless you're not paying attention.
Right.
The theme is super cool, like the giant rocket in the back, doing all the Easter eggs, the monkeys. I think
that was a switch up that I liked.
Yeah, that such a cool map. I was such a fan of that one. My vote's definitely Ascension.
Dope. So I think that's 2-1. Matt, what do you?
I'm going Ascension too. Yeah.
Awesome. I am also. I love the OG. Like everyone said, this is our very first experience with zombies. But Ascension, I really wanted to put it higher. I almost put it 2, but because of what is 2, I couldn't. So Ascension gets my vote because basically Brad summed it up very well. It's so big, it's so much fun to play on, and there were different perks and like power-ups, when you when you kill a zombie. Mm-hmm. Like the minigun and obviously the nuke and all that stuff. It was just a really fun map and easy to like run around even with 4 people. So that gets my vote. Another close one.
Yeah.
Great job, guys. So we'll go on to
Thanks.
2. You're welcome.
Trying my best out here.
Into the next matchup. I'll just call it Transit. It's the bus map in Black Ops 2. When you get on the bus driver, dickhead sometimes he can be, just close the door on you, against number 7 seed Moon, which is you go to Area 51, but it's also on the moon, of course. So I'm gonna pick Transit right out of the gate because some of my best memories of zombies is with this map. It was so much fun to go on the bus. You'd have friends at different stations, like the town, the diner, and then the power
The
plant,
farm.
the farm, and then also Nocturne Toten is like there's also a mini Nocturne Toten
Yeah.
hidden in this map, which is awesome. So Transit gets my vote. It's just all good times with that map.
Oh, go ahead, Brad.
Sorry, I was just gonna say. I mean, I also love Transit, and I think that there's some awesome memories associated with it. I love the layout and how you travel from like one mini map to the next, but you can all be at different ones at the same time. I love the use of the bus and like still having to fight while you're on the bus. It's not like a freebie. I really like the theme of Moon as well. I think Moon is super cool because obviously you start at Area 51
cool.
on Earth. You go up into space. You're being chased around by this astronaut, but there's a bubble on the moon, like it's like a big bio like dome. There's some ancient, almost like little like temple area in there as well. I think that's super cool. But it was really tough. Moon was I think was one of the hardest maps in Zombies.
I agree.
So I think I'm going with Transit, but Moon is it was cool.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Brad hit the nail on the head too. Like the vibes of Moon was super cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
But I really never played it
hard.
that much. Yeah, that's exactly. And there will be nothing better than laughing at your friend when he's running through the cloud of dust on Transit and
That
those
was
little
so
like
scary, man.
those little gremlin things jump up at him.
Yeah, those suck.
Those were you had to have the Bowie knife to knock them
Yeah.
off.
Yep.
I'm not missing the bus, so I'm picking Transit.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Good. Michael, Matt, what do you guys think?
I'm picking Transit because, I mean, assuming I got on the bus, it was fun. I usually miss the bus.
Most of the time, miss the bus.
But you know what was on the bus or not on the bus? Gravity. I really like having that in the game mechanic. Don't get me wrong, the Moon theme, like you guys said earlier, it's great. I love space. I love the concept. But damn, I just can't be floating around getting chased by these zombies.
Too many
I never made
variables
it,
for Michael.
I never made it far enough in Moon to like. I'm not going by round. I'm going by like time, like in minutes of that. Oh, I was.
Can
alive.
I make it 7 minutes in this game?
Barely. Like it's so hard. Like for me, because I'm basically bad at it.
I mean, Moon. You throw like a amateur zombie player into Moon, they're gonna struggle.
It's hard.
For sure.
The concept's cool, but Transit's just it's playable. So I'm gonna go with
it's a
Transit.
Matt,
Transit for
clean
me.
sweep.
I don't really think that I've played too much of either. But just from what Brad described Transit as, I definitely think that.
Yeah,
I think I have played it once or twice.
I'm a big fan of this outcome just because, as Brad said, this is no disrespect to Moon. Moon is, I think, the largest zombies map in all of Call of Duty.
I wouldn't know,
but
He's never made it.
I made it to like 26, 27 ish.
Yeah.
But it just gets to a point, man, when you're fighting gravity and you're fighting the astronaut hordes of zombies, it's really tough. And for that
I made
reason,
it to the Moon.
Transit's a lot more fun in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if we go back up to 1 versus 4 here, it's going to be Doris versus Kino der Toten. This one I'm interested. I can see an upset here. What do you guys think?
I'm going Kino. It's my favorite map of all time. I've played it the most.
Kino's
I know it the
so
best.
good.
Yeah,
I kind of saw this coming, not going to lie.
Yeah.
Michael,
That's whatever Nathan votes.
It's like Derize has the Wonder Waffle.
yes,
And so that's I think that's the first map that you see it, right?
correct.
And that's where like the most lore comes from in Zombies as well.
kinda
Like
where
if you followed like the storyline kinda.
Yeah.
But Kino, I mean obviously like that's where you first get the what's the giant
Thunder
the
gun?
Zeus cannon, Thunder gun, yeah.
Zeus Cannon's an upgrade, yeah.
Yes, I knew. I just didn't know the original, but yeah. I mean, I think Kino's Kino. I just remember being in middle school, running home, hopping on, and playing for 3 hours, and then going right to sleep and going to school again.
Well, I'll just make it a clean sweep. I put Doris as 1, sort of to show respect, but also because I just love the map, me personally. It's kind of a lot of first in COD Zombies. And I do want to add, I don't know if you guys remember Verrucht. It was in War at War in Black Ops 1. It was like a hot mental asylum.
Mm-hmm.
I love that map, but I didn't think it made the top 8. But
Yeah, Verrucht and Shino Numa were not my favorite.
War at War, they were good.
Yeah,
but
they were
Therese
good.
was like up here compared to those. But yeah,
sure.
I'd have to agree. Kino's a classic, nostalgic gameplay, guns. It's really good, and I have a feeling. Yeah, we'll go from here. Ascension versus Transit.
I love Transit in this battle.
I'm with you.
I love Ascension. I love Ascension so
Yeah, I
much.
gotta go Ascension.
2-on-2.
Wow.
Michael.
Okay, so I just want to speak my piece here.
Is it about Michael?
No, I'm just trying to say I'm trying to sway Michael. So,
Whoa.
no,
Okay.
no. All I'm saying is I really liked on Ascension. What were the lunar landers that you would take from position to position, like whenever you thought like you were getting in trouble.
You're correct. Yeah, that was a really cool
and then
aspect.
Also, like just using. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a glitch with Ascension as well.
So you
to
can
where you
stand up somewhere?
Yeah, you could like get on that lunar lander and then jump off of it. Like, so you were on the outside of the rails when they came
Yeah.
up on the lunar lander, and then get onto the top of a building and then just sit there for hours.
Let them
so
kill
like,
themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
To run
Yeah.
into them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. There's just the vibes of it were so awesome.
I love both. As I said, I voted Transit. But
Yeah.
Michael, remember just the bus depot, the memes,
The little Goombas that run after
the
you.
little Moogas that run around.
Michael, the
Nathan.
monkeys.
Nathan, Brad.
Have you ever played Ascension? Let me ask you that.
I believe that I've played it on my own,
Bullshit.
and I'm just going based
think
purely on how far I got in each one. I think I like the theme of Ascension better, but I did better in Transit. I like
What you got?
tough.
There's
I'm
no
going
wrong
Transit,
answer.
man. I'm going Transit, man. I have to.
Damn.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I didn't miss the bus as much as I just got murdered over and over again in Ascension.
Brad,
So-
I didn't want to put these two together because I love Ascension.
Yeah.
It's right there with me. But unfortunately,
But I mean, these top 4 too. I mean, any of them can go on to win it.
you
I
can
mean,
hear a different opinion from like 10 different people. on, like,
Right.
their favorite.
That's the beauty of it.
all 4
My
of these.
two favorite maps of all time in Zombies are these two right here.
Really?
Yeah.
and it's another. Oh no, it's not a 1-2. It's a
Transits too.
2-4.
Interesting.
We got the finals. Kino der Toten, Theater of the Dead against Transit, the bus station meme man. What are your guys' votes?
I believe I said at the
Kino.
beginning, but I'm going Kino all the way.
All right.
I play it the most. It's my favorite.
I think I also have to go Kino. It's just classic. It's just the
It
nostalgia.
is. It's
It
the
hits
map.
so
it's
hard.
like the map that everyone
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
Matt and Michael.
I said Kino.
Kino.
Yeah.
Kino wins.
I'd
Michael.
have to agree. Yeah.
I'm proud of
That
Transit though. I'm proud of Transit.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's,
Awesome.
it's up there, but Kino, like, again, it was me before I met any of you playing on. Maybe I was bad because I had a Wii. So, you know how hard it is to
That
play
might have been it.
zombies
That might have been it. Yeah.
when you're trying to. Yeah, I remember just going back in that elevator and just dying, but I made it far. So, that's it.
I'm going to hop on it because I didn't see these two matching up. In all honesty, Kino should have been 1.
Yeah.
But I think I thought it'd rise with the lore and just the nostalgia factor for me. But Kino,
Respect.
Kino at the end of the day is a true winner that I think deserves it all. So, well, you heard
There
it
we
here
go.
first. Kino der Toten is the greatest Call of Duty Zombies map of all time. Hey, thanks for checking out part 1 of our bracket episode here on the Mobcast. Stay tuned as our next episode will be part 2 of our brackets, and you won't want to miss it. We talk Marvel, Avatar The Last Airbender, Star Wars, our favorite childhood TV shows, and so much more. Make sure to check us out on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for tuning in, and take it easy.
What's that sound? What's that sound? It's the Mobcast.